Hi, folks, and welcome to a more civilized age with me from the Twin Sons Foundation, or actually the Dylan channel, the YouTube Dylan channel that is cranking out videos, doubling his video input in less than a week.
It's not even called the Dylan channel.
What's it called again?
Dax 303.
Dax 3.
The account I've had for 13 years.
I was sub number 10, I believe. But either way, you got to go sub to him because now the goal is to surpass me.
That's never happening.
Well, it might happen quicker than you think.
Yeah. Right? Did you say it not as hard as you think? There you go. Ryan can give you some tips.
It may happen quicker than you think. That's what I said.
No, yeah, here's what happens. Ryan has you on his channel and promotes you.
Ryan, you actually put effort into your videos. I don't. I just one take with Microsoft PowerPoint up. That's my video.
Dylan,
no, you are just pissed off, and then he slices it all up into individual videos.
You may be the only person who's ever told me that I put effort into my videos. I'm rather well known for pretty low effort content.
You put more effort than I do.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Turn the camera on for 6 minutes.
Now
I do something. I do edit out the beginning and the end, which is something that Matt wasn't able to do for the first, decade of his YouTube career.
Before you were on YouTube. Anyway, so I advertised a special guest, and the special guest, I swear, the Geeks Addict had agreed to come on for the first time in years.
Since the Rise of Skywalker.
Since the Rise of Skywalker, we have not had him on. It's because he's always busy. He told me, I'm in. I'm not playing. 5 minutes after you text me, Ryan, and you said,
I'm in.
Let's do it. Dude texts me and goes, hey, I just remembered I'm on vacation and I have to travel that night. I was like, whoa. I said, are you playing with me? He went, no, I'm serious. I just forgot. I went, no, I mean, Ryan just texted me and said he's going to be there. He went, oh, man, I'm going to miss him. You've been missing him for the past 4 years.
That was the original, team, right?
Yeah.
That was the original team that had been assembled. Yeah, and Chris.
Yeah. Geeks at it because he was reading both old
new
and
canon.
New canon. Yeah.
Not many of us left, So.
No, there's not, but he's not even one of them. But he couldn't be here. So unfortunately, we got to move on without him, or maybe fortunately here. So let's go ahead and just kick it off with our start. If you don't know, Dylan did throw out. I mean, when you do your first video on your channel, you make it count. And he did with talking about the Legends books. Perfect timing for me to remind me to close the door. But anyway, Dylan, give us a little synopsis of the video. You don't have to repeat everything in the video, but just give us a little overview of what you stated, because that's going to be our first topic.
Well, I don't know. It kind of goes into when Wave 8 got leaked, and I saw that, it was going to be Republic Commando True Colors. Fair enough. They got to finish that. They got to continue that series. Courtship of Princess Leia. Pretty good. Old Republic Annihilation. Sure, the last Old Republic book. But then iJedi. Why have iJedi on that list? What is, look.
Why not? Because you're retelling the important parts of the Jedi Apprentice series in a better fashion. You get a character that is well known from all of the X-Wing novels that they've been putting out. I think it makes perfect sense. It is a beloved book in the Star Wars expanded universe.
Beloved by some. But yeah, in the past, and this is something we talked about, Dylan and I talked about prior to coming out here, going live, but we're talking about the how we used to know, kind of understand the Essential Legends collection, oh, Timothy Zahn, obviously he's popular. Oh, X-Wing books, because there's going to be, or was going to be, an X-Wing movie at the time. Then we thought about, oh, well, they're doing this one, Shatterpoint, because there's never been an audio book of it before. you know, and we get an underbridge audiobook. But now it's like Dylan has a point. Why release I Jedi before the trilogy? People would be lost. I mean, we're talking about the average fan that just is looking, going, "Oh, Essentials Legends should be something you could pick up."
It's the dark
and
one,
a lot of these stories are self-contained, but not I Jedi. Go ahead.
But it's just like a dartboard of like, oh, I guess we'll put Dawn of the Jedi into the void, the truly essential novel within the Star Wars expanded universe. Who could forget Dawn of the Jedi into the void? Like, no, like on none of our radars. And it's like, yeah, we'll do that one. Why?
So I just nobody wants that. Right.
So I just got to think like, okay, how would I do it, right? Because like, I mean, there's like when they say the Essential Legends collection, and as much as I've postulated that maybe perhaps they're going to do everything, their marketing so far has said that they're not going to do everything, right? Because it's like the opening tidbit to all of them is like this collection curates the best stories, something along those lines, right? So they're obviously not going to do everything.
Yeah. How many books now will this make? With this newest release, how many total novels have they done?
I don't know the exact number. It's probably like 20 to 24, I think.
It seems like
I was gonna guess it's getting close to 30 now.
Yeah. And even that, like the Essential Legends collection, even it being over 30 books or whatever, does seem like a lot. Obviously, there's a lot to choose from, and it would be tough for us to pare any of them down. But
I agree.
You know, to call it the Essential Legends, and now you're getting to Shatterpoint. You know what I mean?
Before New Jedi Order, which I think just about everyone is like, if you're gonna tell the story of Legends, it's got to be New Jedi Order, right? That's got to be one of them.
Well, how do you pick? Because you can't do 17 books or whatever. So what are you gonna do?
You can do them
Prime star by star and like unifying force.
The hardcover order. I don't know if, by the way, I have no idea if anyone has ever just read New Jedi Order in the hardcover order, which is where you just read the 5 hardcovers. I know that's a meme that exists. I don't know if anyone's actually done it. If you've done that, let us know.
So what would that be? That would be Vector Prime,
Balance
Point, Star by Star, Destiny's Way, and
Unifying Force. Yeah. It's the hardcover.
That was how it was envisioned, but there's no way. Yeah.
I don't think you could do it. Too much happens.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's just kind of mind-boggling at this point. And I don't know how they're picking these or why they're picking these. Or what about Courtship of Princess Leia? Dothraki Witches, stuff like that. I don't understand.
Well, that is in there, but again,
it is.
It is in this last wave, but like how they've done the art, right? A lot of people are just like, they're probably going to put TCW Night Sisters.
No,
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, right? But like, that's like the most likely thing that's going to happen, right?
Really?
Is this wave 7?
This is wave 8. Wave 8. It's not out. Okay, the covers are not out yet.
Not out. Yeah.
This is pure speculation, right? But the most logical, like, they put pupils on Thrawn.
I mean,
they put pupils on Thrawn.
I didn't see Courtship of Princess Leia, but yeah, it is. Wow.
Maybe they'll just do like a shot of Han and Leia in the front.
Maybe we'll get lucky, and that's what it is.
Because I mean, even in like I don't even know if in some of the official, there's a couple different covers of that. I don't think like you have any Dathomiri's on some of those covers.
No.
I think the covers are still horrible. I don't think there's a single cover. I mean, do you think there's?
Hey, listen, there's that one where you get to see a little, Carrie Fisher cleavage on one of those covers. Princess Leia. You don't remember that one?
Which one was that?
The one where she's like in a white dress. Hold on. I remember.
I haven't looked at the only ones that like stick out in my mind are the X-Wing books, because at least they have like a style to them that somewhat works for the series.
I don't understand hard contacts. I know the artwork's a little bit, but is this AI art, by the way? I don't know. I'm just
It There's a lot of speculation that it might be, though. Like if you go to that artist's Instagram, they have a lot of other art that's in that style. So either they're one of the artists that like the AI art is like pulling from to make their stuff, or it is AI art. We don't know, but I know there's a lot of people.
so
There's a
they
lot of
knew how
screenshots and
crappy
theories.
Dawn of the Jedi was, and they made a crappy cover for it. They probably saw the reviews.
Hold on.
Now,
All right.
now,
Hold on. Let me share this one with you.
yeah.
I can't believe you haven't seen this one.
Oh no, I thought you meant the new Legends collection. I thought you.
No.
No, okay, yeah, this one, yeah, of course. Why do you think I bought it?
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
think
Yeah,
I think that's the only official artwork of Isolder.
probably.
good.
He's standing. He's standing next to R2. It could be Luke. You know what I mean?
next.
Like that. Like people could have. That could be Luke. Who knows?
I'm telling you. Let me see. I've always had. Hold on, where is it? A question.
There's some pretty messed up looking Luke Skywalker art throughout the course of Star Wars cover history. I've always thought this was supposed to be Isolder, but
Yeah, I want to
Well,
show.
uh,
Here, hold on. Let me show you where. Who is that in Battle for Endor? I've seen.
I would ask you if I was to ask a single person
Yes.
in history. I would ask you, Matt.
yes, the fact
There's
that
nobody. There's nobody that looks like that.
It kind of looks like the guy who played Han Solo in the Solo movie.
I know, but I've seen this art before, and it's like, so, and look at all these ships here. What is that? I mean, this must be Noah's ship as it's fully funded, but is it just fly? Is this several pictures of it flying away? Or there's several ships here? You can kind of tell who everyone else is. Well, it looks like Teak is wearing some kind of apron and holding some stuff here. I don't know. It's just so weird, and I don't know who this is. Holding a blaster. Was this one of the original concepts? It's always bothered me who that person is and how this picture came about, but nobody knows. I've tried to look at the history of this, and I'm the only one that I guess that cares. But it's always bothered me. Anyway, Dylan, you were saying something about the consistency of the heart of the novels for the Essentials collection. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
the consistency in like what they're picking, or
I thought you meant what the quality of the book or something.
oh no, sorry, that was something else. That was actually something about the mass market paperbacks we've been noticing.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What about the mass market?
So this is kind of switching topics, but earlier this week, at the time of recording this, we purchased the books for the up and coming donation for Twinson's Foundation at Shock, right? And as we do, we get a whole bunch of books. And as I'm the one to have them, when I got them, I put them away, right? But I kind of went through them just to make sure there was no damage. And I found something that's like, I don't know if a lot of people know about that. Let me share a screen.
Sure.
So this is a table I made of all the books we got and whether or not they have the Legends banner on them and whether or not they have the timeline. And it has been 9 years since the by the end of this month, it will have been 9 years since the Legends banner came out. How is it that we are still buying brand new editions of Scourge and Ambush at Corellia without the Legends banner on them? How is that possible? How have not enough people bought them? Have there just been an overstock in the pre-2014 versions of them? But not only that, like the timelines, the Han Solo adventure, the Lando adventures, they don't have the timelines in it. Neither does Rogue Squadron, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Rogue Planet, and Ambush at Corellia doesn't have a Legends banner on it and doesn't have a timeline on it. Like, if you get that book, the only other advert for another Star Wars book is Assault on Salonia. And I have a copy of Showdown at Centerpoint with the Legends banner on it. So, like, book 3 has the Legends banner on it, but book 1 doesn't. Like, and it still doesn't. Like, there's no. I don't see option A of there's just an overstock before 2014. We're not doing it. Like, I don't see that as plausible anymore. Are they just reprinting these books without the Legends banner? Are they reprinting these books without the timeline, and why? That's what I want to know.
Honestly, to me, I don't think there's any like thought or anything behind it. I think it's just like bad quality control and bad like planning. I just don't think there's a lot of eyes on this stuff. If I'm being
That's probably the
honest.
simplest solution, but like the new fan experience of if you just pick up one of these books randomly is like
you would assume that it could be just connected to, hey, where's Ahsoka? Like,
Right.
Yeah. Again,
Right.
if you didn't know, you might think Ambush at Corellia was canon.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be like, who the hell is Anakin Solo?
Well, all right. So there's that. I want to shift topics real big. Last month, oddly enough, we talked about just unpublished stuff. Read some stories, had some fun with it, and lo and behold, a previously unpublished, which I thought was unwritten too, story came out. Dengar and Jodocast, Time to Pray. It was Andy Mangels who wrote. It is a sequel or is prequel typically to Twin Sons of Destruction. Right? No wait. Boba Fett, Twin Engines. I had to say it. Twin Engines of Destruction. And he had an idea for like a prequel comic book because the first one sold well, but never sold. Then he tried to pitch it to StarWars.com, I think, to do in word form or do an online comic strip about it. Well, the short story leaked, and it's out there for people to read. Everyone's been asking what I thought about it. Ryan, I don't know if you've had a chance to see it.
I haven't had a chance to see it to actually read the leaks. I just kind of knew like the history behind it when I heard people talking about it. I haven't had a chance to actually look at it. Is it any good?
We didn't talk much about it, if at all, because I didn't think he'd written it. But Dylan, did you get a chance to read it?
No, I had no idea this thing even existed until it came out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I knew about it, that he had the idea. I didn't know he had it written. So it was nice to see. But reading it, everyone wants my opinion of it. Reading it, I'm not going to do a review on it because I heard the author did not want it released. He was still trying to, pitch it to Marvel for a comic book or whatever idea. So he still liked the idea of it. But I thought it was okay. I just wish it would have been a comic book because it had a lot of action in it and a lot of description of the action. But I was like, I really wish I could have seen this instead of just read about it, It's not like it was just a script for a comic book. It was written like a short story. But the whole time I was like, this would be a lot cooler if I could see what was going on. It's not bad, but, not blow your socks off awesome anyway. So, okay, well.
It's so crazy how some of this stuff just sits around for years and years and years. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden it just pops out somewhere.
Yeah, someone's leaks.
Yeah. It is crazy how that works. But anyway, then I will move on. Folks, updates for Supernatural Encounters. I heard that he released a few pages. Dylan, know about this?
Yeah, I've been seeing people talk about it. I haven't read it because I'm kind of just waiting for it all to come out. I don't.
That's me too. I'm not going to read a preview art. I mean, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are excited about that, and they should be. As far as I know, it's going to the printer, and they're getting printed now. I don't know about shipping and everything, but Joe is making that top priority right now, so we should see it later on this year. I'm excited to read it, as is a lot of other people. After that, I heard a little birdie told me that all 4 Hungarian Han Solo books have been translated.
Wow.
So that project is done. They're just waiting for Supernatural Encounters to come out first. And then we're going to get the Hungarian Han Solo novels. I cannot tell you how excited I am. I read the first one, loved it. It is in the spirit of Brian Daley, and that's what the author was trying to do, and they are decent. A lot of people are saying, yeah, the Hungarians who read it said it was really good stuff. Well, is it, or do you just have a low, what's it called, a low bar for entertainment? No, I thought the first one was pretty good. So I'm ready to read, and they're supposed to be direct sequels to the Brian Daley book. So I'm really excited about that. And then there's some type of Ewoks short story or comic books from Germany. I know exactly zero about those, but I'm interested in them.
Yeah, that sounds right up your alley there.
I'm telling you, Ewok cartoons, but those have already been translated and are ready to go too. So we may be looking at getting a lot of unpublished EU. Maybe 2023 will be a good year. It's kind of wild that we keep digging up old stories left and right, like Ryan was saying earlier. It's just kind of, you go years without this story coming to light, and all of a sudden, boom, there it is. Heart of the Jedi, stuff.
Yeah.
All this other stuff. Lightsider last year. I mean, stuff just starts getting, released now, and that's a good thing. It's good that we're getting this stuff. Will Escape from Dagu be next? Who knows? But I think it's great. Anyone want to give thoughts on that?
I mean, not particularly. I think that when it's available and when it's out there, it'll be interesting to read. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I don't know how they translated this stuff. If somebody had to sit down and do the whole thing, or if they used
Yeah.
Chat GPT or some AI bot or something to translate it. I don't know.
It was a guy who does translations from Hungarian to English. They had
That's
a hard time finding someone who would do, who could do it. And then the German ones were easy, supposedly.
Yeah, there's a lot of Germans also speak English. Germans,
A lot of them German speaking fans, yeah.
Yes, one very famous one in particular, who does some translating.
Yeah. Stieg's German, right? That's who you're mentioning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, must be.
Not the angry German guy.
Which that doesn't make it any more specific.
Even though now he knows from the last live stream on Friday that I've been trolling a bunch of people for years. I told him, Dylan is one of two people, I think. I don't know who else knew this. I'll just say it again. During my reviews, if ever I mispronounce something and people start correcting me, I just doubled down the next video and did it on purpose. And I told Dylan and Brian, I said, I'm going to do it every time now. And sometimes it was done on purpose. I purposely screwed up names. Sometimes I did not. But it drove Noah crazy that I called her Callistia. That
one does drive me crazy when I hear you say
but
that.
when he kept making a big deal, and a bunch of people typed in, I said it once, and I said, okay, watch this. And I just doubled that. And Brian and Dylan are going, man. And I was like, no, I'm going to keep it. We're going to keep it. I said, Callistia. But I slipped up once. I said Callista during the review. And I saw Noah was doing a rewatch of my videos. He was like, look, oh my God, he actually got it right. And I was like, yeah, that was a screw up because I forgot to say Callistia.
I think that I would love to know sometime, just get like 1,000 EU fans to like read the names and how they say people, like Talon Card. How did people pronounce that the first time you read it in the book? Taiko Selchu. Like I know I said that so wrong for such a long time.
What did I call Taiko? Taiko Chiliu or whatever. I can't remember what Chelu or whatever. Is what
I said Taicho Chelsu.
Yeah,
is like how I read it, which sounds horrifically bad. Like if I'd actually spoken that out loud, I would have realized there's no way that could be the name. That's such a mouthful, but that's how I read it in my head.
I called him Talone.
Talone.
There's no E, I know, but
Talone.
Talone.
This is
why mysterious. Not
this is why we need the unabridged audio.
Talone.
You know, I say it can't be that. It's got to be Talone. You know, because
I've heard a lot of people say Carde, and I'm like, I don't know how you would justify that pronunciation when its ship is called the Wild Card. Like,
well,
if that wouldn't make any sense, it's the Wild Carde.
I read this when I was 13, and at first I thought it said Karad.
Yeah,
there was no
stuff like that. It's stuff like that. And the way that you read it the first time, it's always somewhere in the back of your head, just waiting to fucking, or sorry, just waiting to come out.
Whatever. Like that F word for you.
Exactly.
The worst. I think the worst is New Jedi Order. There were several.
I used to call it Truce of Baruka.
Yes, stuff like that.
When I was a kid, when I was 14, probably when it came out. And then I realized, I remember this is, as I said, Truce of Baruka. He went, Baruka? You mean Bakor? I said, no, it's Baruka. He went, pretty sure it's Bakor. I went, no, it's Bruruk. He went, no. I was like, are you sure? And we checked the cover. I was like, oh no, I've been saying it wrong the whole time.
And it's because when you're reading it, it's just whatever word you happen to associate with that portion of that world. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter when you're reading it.
And then
until you discuss it with someone else,
double down on it, you know.
And they're like, what? Yeah. The worst was New Jedi Order for me. There were several times with the Vong names when I would just read it. It's like, and that guy.
Law. Right. Yeah.
I would just, in my head, I would just go, so that guy, like that name, that's that guy. And this name is also that guy.
There was some.
I never listened to the audiobook, so everyone would correct me when I'd say one of them. I was like, I don't care. I said it the way I wanted to say it. And most of those Vong names, besides, is it Nomenar?
I say Nomenor.
Nomenor, okay.
Shadow Shy. He just sounds like a samurai or something.
Yeah.
But Savong La, it's how I said that. I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, Savong La. I've heard.
I think I said that way too.
Okay.
Shimra's easy.
Yeah.
Also,
Shimra I always got right.
Omini.
Omini, yeah.
Omini.
Well, I think I called him Omanai in my head, but Omini. I never said that name out loud though. Shimra I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, wild names for pronunciations there. The other thing I have here is people have been wanting me to comment on this. I said I'd save it for this stream here. In an Old Republic interview, they said we have so much scripted dialogue or scripted stories, we have enough to fill 40 books.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone started flooding me about, hey, can we ask does Old Republic have the rights to print books? The answer is no. That's owned by Del Rey. They can obviously do short stories on their website. But someone said, well, can we ask them for the scripts? Go ahead. I don't know if they have them or they'll give them. But I thought surely there is some uber fan of the Old Republic who has written all this out somewhere. You know, I couldn't find, I did like a brief Google search. But, you know, I mean, I don't play the Old Republic. I hear the stories are great, or a lot of them are.
The stories are really good. When I heard that, I kind of questioned what exactly does that mean? Enough dialogue for 40 books, because you also have to remember that for every character interaction you have, you're going to have like 3 dialogue options. So, you know, so there's so many different choices, so many different ways even to get to an answer. If you want it, at the end of the day, you get to the same answer. So, you know, I don't think it's 40 books worth of stories.
Yeah.
But like that they have written at least. Now there's a lot of content. There are so many different characters that you run into, companions that you have, you know, missions that would make good little one-off novels. There's a ton of stuff out there, but all of it kind of does exist in the game already. So I don't know.
It would just be a novelization of the game. And the last time they tried that, it was okay, I guess.
I wouldn't mind, I would not mind at all a novelization for each of like the
classes.
I would love that.
I'm shocked they never did that, because it's printing money, in my opinion.
I think they lost the rights too quickly.
Well, no, let's say that Del Rey or Bantam back in the day, they make, because you remember they did it for Dark Forces. Okay. So, and they did it for Force Unleashed. But if I were them, a game as popular as KOTOR 1 and 2, it's a no-brainer. You put that in a novelization, and these KOTOR fans swarm toward it. You know, they don't. A lot of people play the video games and didn't read the books, but video game people would buy the book, and book fans will I would definitely. I picked up a copy in a heartbeat. You know, and I can't think of. I don't know of all the video games, but some of these video games, I know they have great storylines. I know they do. It's all about, especially these days, it's about right. Or I don't know these days. I don't play any ones. But back in the day, I thought the Arkham, Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, I thought those are great stories, and you have a lot of good story. It's story driven, Halo and stuff. And I read some of the Halo books too. And
Troy Denning, yeah.
Yeah, you make what fans, are consuming. And so why not make more of these? Why not make yes, they did make Old Republic novels. Yes, they did. But why not make them based off the story in the video game? I don't know. I think that's just like, for a publisher, you want to attract as many readers. Star Wars fans are going to buy it automatically. But now you can grab some of these video game people who don't read but would love it in storybook form because they play the video game and they love the story of the video game so much. They haven't bought them. I'd buy a book of Arkham Asylum or Arkham Knight based off the video game. I would. I would have back in the day when I was playing it,
See, because they did kind of do that. They're like the tie-in novels, right? They're not like exactly like the story of the game. And also like the game as we know it today was kind of in its infancy at the time that the expanded universe got decanonized. I think they hadn't even had an expansion at that point. Or maybe I think the first expansion came out in like 2013, I want to say. But like the actual like overarching like story of where it is to today has all come post decanonization. So kind of like, I guess the opportunity or the timing was just off. That like had there not been a decanonization and it gotten to this point, they probably could do it. But because now they just don't have any interest in it. But the story is at the point that it is. It's just the timing is off, I think, is sadly what happened.
Okay, that's an interesting theory that you said if it wouldn't have been canceled, they eventually would have gone back and done.
Maybe.
Stuff.
Maybe. I think they certainly could have. There would be a lot of opportunities too.
They definitely could have. I don't know if they ever would have because if they didn't already, if they didn't back then, why start now? I don't know. I mean, I would love to see it. I mean, I'm not, I don't know.
I mean, I think that they were also actually had other projects and stuff too, what I mean, that they were working on and working up to.
Yeah.
So maybe something that they're already putting clearly a lot of effort into storytelling wise. They wanted to make sure to tell the story that way first and take care of that. And then maybe they could have gone back. I don't know if they ever would have or not. The Old Republic books weren't exactly the most well-received books. I think obviously Deceived is probably what I think most people would say is the best one. If you did a poll,
I would say so too. I think Deceived is excellent.
Yeah, I think Annihilation is really good. I also like the Revan book. I hated Fatal Alliance.
I like Revan too. But
Revan's a big splitter though.
Yeah, because
Revan's a very divisive one.
For people who played the game, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, the ending is very unsatisfying if you play the games.
I played the games and I really loved the games and I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the ending. And then you get
there's
more.
A ringing endorsement, Ryan Kennel. I didn't hate the ending. In quotation mark.
Matt, I hate a lot of things. So that kind of is a ringing endorsement. That kind of is a ringing endorsement.
That is a ringing endorsement.
Not hating it is at least an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah. The ending obviously is what everybody's going to talk about for that one.
True.
And if you play Star Wars: The Old Republic, I think that it pays off in certain ways.
Yeah. But even if you don't like the ending, it still pays off because, it was the fan theory for a while that Mandalore the Preserver was Canderous and that it like basically confirmed, yep, that was Canderous.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. All right, yeah, interesting.
Dude, when
Um,
when I think when the droid just gets vaporized is like just such a what? Like it's such a shocking moment in
That
that.
kills the droid.
Like T3 just gone. Just immediately. Like not even a chance.
let me let me ask you this: you guys played more video games than I did for Star Wars. It's weird because even when I was big into video games, I never was into Star Wars video games. I don't know.
What
I
you
would
mean you
read the
didn't play like Super Star Wars on the
I mean, everyone
SNES?
did back
Oh yeah.
then, but besides those, I played Pod Racer on N64. I played Masters of the Terrace Key on PlayStation. My favorite was Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
I did love me some Rogue Squadron. I played Rogue Squadron all day, and I hated, I think, the second one. I thought it was dumb. I remember because that's when you have some AI bots kind of helping you too at times. And one time I just couldn't figure out where the TIE fighters were, and the other AI X Wings finally destroyed them all. I beat the level without finding a single TIE fighter because I was having issues trying to steer the Millennium Falcon, I guess. I don't know. I just couldn't find, they were going too fast. I couldn't get them.
You realize that's when you were too old to play video games.
Well, I was still playing video games back then. This thing ticked me off, but let me ask you this: what are there any other outside the Old Republic? Are there any other video games you feel that should have gotten the novel or comic book treatment?
I mean, I like obviously we did
Jedi
get a dark.
Academy. I don't know what that is, but a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I would say. So I think we obviously got the Dark Forces books,
Right.
novels, which whatever. I think every Kyle Katarn adventure should have had its own. I think Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast should have absolutely had a novelization. Jedi Academy should have had a novelization. There should have been more stories with Kyle Katarn, just in general, written down on paper. I think we were sorely missing a lot of those. I'm trying to think of like my favorite Star Wars games. A lot of mine are not necessarily character driven ones sometimes, but like Empire at War, Galactic Battlegrounds. Like those things are not necessarily story driven. Those are like you're in the environment. What do you think, Dylan?
A good one, which like you wouldn't think, but like as you asked this question, it was the first that came to mind, was like the classic Battlefront 2. I just think the idea of like how in the story, like basically having a book that's like an in-universe memoir from a clone trooper who fought like basically through like all of that would be incredible, like just fascinating, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
kind of. I mean, you kind of have Republic Commando series, like
yeah,
it's not the same as what you're talking about, but you kind of have those perspectives.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think the Force Unleashed, like the fact that the Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2 got a novelization, I thought was crazy.
Yeah, it's really weird. I actually think they're better than the they're better than the games, I think, story wise.
I think so too, yeah.
Okay.
Which isn't saying much because especially with 2, they're the story's not that great.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I think Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2, obviously you could have done novelizations with those as well.
Yeah. Just to really set in stone, be like the canon ending and like decisions.
Yeah, I agree. And I also, it would have been weird. I don't know if the reveal would have worked as well in a non-visual medium.
No.
When you get revealed that you're Revan, I don't think the twist would play out as well in a book. You would probably just have to set it up differently.
Yeah.
But
or just bank on the fact that like the people who are reading it already basically know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how, if you go about a novelization, I don't know if you approach it that way or not. But
well, I think like if we're talking like ideally like the novelization, like The Force Unleashed did, came out at the same time of the game, yes, it's a problem. But if we're like post hoc doing a novelization like 10 plus years later, you're not going to read the novelization of KOTOR if you're not already familiar with the games, right?
Unless you just randomly find it. I mean, like when I was getting into Star Wars books, I just randomly found Star by Star. That was the first NJO book I picked up, and I got like 10 pages in. I'm like, I am lost. You know what I mean? So I had to go find Vector Prime.
Wow. Started with Star by Star.
I didn't read very much of it because I was like, I'm clearly lost. I don't know
Yeah.
what is a
Oh
voxel.
yeah, that is exactly smack dab in the middle of that story.
Yeah.
Bounty
So,
Hunter
yeah.
might make a good novelization. Now I'm thinking about it.
Ooh, yes, that would. Django
What,
Fett.
wait, what'd you
book.
say? What'd you say?
Bounty Hunter, Django. It's the story of how
I've heard
Django
good
Fett
things
got
about that one.
the clone contract.
Yeah, it's Count. Well, yeah, it's Count Dooku putting out this big contract to find the best bounty hunter in the galaxy.
To kill Kamari Vosa, basically.
Yeah, you're tracking down his hot old apprentice, Kamari Vosa. Dylan knows.
No, I never beat that game. I got like about halfway through, and then I just hit the cheat codes to like unlock everything, and I watched the cutscenes.
Oh,
That game is really hard.
Oh, what? I beat it. That was the first game I owned on GameCube, other than like Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, you owned a GameCube. I owned a GameCube for like 2 seconds.
I was one of like the
You realize it
25
was
million
such a
people that bought a GameCube. I didn't know any better. So.
I didn't know better either. I'll be honest. They were advertising what Rogue Squadron 3 at the time, and the new Zelda game and the new Mario Kart game. So I was like, oh, I got to get the GameCube. And I was like, oh wait, this thing has 0 memory on it. And I'm trying to play my college football, whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember those little tiny Mario Kart.
And I had to buy
memory cards?
tons of those. I had to buy the biggest disc they sold at the time just to save my season on there.
And you had the little tiny discs, like the micro discs,
the micro CD,
the
or whatever.
and the
it was.
the GameCube controller is a terrible controller.
It's horrible.
I don't know
Horrible.
if it's actually better or worse than the N64. The N64 is also a terrible controller. We just all
N64 is terrible.
we just all feel
jammed
really
together,
good about
yeah.
it. But
At least the GameCube, again, the step up. There's not like that third, like they didn't make it assuming people had 3 hands,
yeah,
like with the N64 controller.
Yeah, that is true. But it also like the complete like it's ill symmetrical, right?
Mhm.
Like the buttons and like the A versus the B versus the X and the Y. It's so stupid. They definitely got it right with the Switch. So
Yeah, I remember the what were the
which is basically
cheap,
just the Xbox controller.
for the N64. What were the cheap Mad Cats, the Mad Cats controllers? They had a Mad Cats controller, the cheap version of those controls back in the day. They made like knockoff controllers. The Mad Cats gave you the hand separated 2 instead of the 3 little handhold things. They fit everything on the N64 into 2. I remember my whole group. I bought one a long time ago, and that was my controller. And people fought over that one because it was so nice. Everyone hated the N64 controllers. Everyone did.
I didn't know any better. I was a kid.
Yeah, stupid kid. But okay, so any other video games they should have made ones for?
I wish I had my collection of games like where I could readily see them and like.
All right, that's fine. Just want to make sure.
You know what? I think that the video game adaptation for Revenge of the Sith, I think that deserves a novelization. Not of the movie, but of that actual video game. I think we need a Revenge of the Sith video game novelization.
All the extra stuff that happens in it.
Well,
does it have
does
it have the dark side ending where like Anakin actually wins and then kills the Emperor at the end? And all the clones just go, well, I guess you're the Emperor now.
Pretty much. They just stand idly by. Like he's like, I felt you were in danger, Lord Vader. He's like, I have the strength to hold this galaxy together. And like, I don't know what he says, but it's just something like that.
Like,
and he just stabs him in the stomach with a lightsaber. You've never seen that? I gotta find that cut scene.
So
oh my gosh,
basically like the ending is like so in the game, like you can basically choose like light side or dark side basically at the end, and then like you take over either Anakin or Obi-Wan, right? And like depending on who you choose is like who wins that duel. And then if you choose Anakin, right, he kills Obi-Wan, right? And
I
then
did
like
not know that.
Palpatine comes and he's just like, oh yes, and then like Anakin just kills him and like and takes over the galaxy, I guess.
All right.
What? How insane is that?
I've got the entire thing. We can watch it here. Hold on.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
All right. Share the screen. Hopefully my laptop doesn't freeze up too much. Look
Yeah,
at Obi-Wan.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know nothing about this.
Alternate
Over
ending.
Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate the power of the dark side. Don't try it!
Wrecked.
It was that easy.
Just one little dodge, but it's not over, guys.
Wow, I never knew about this.
I love this game, dude.
Excellent work, my apprentice. There are none left to oppose us. The galaxy is ours now. Your new weapon, Lord Vader. No, the galaxy belongs to me.
Shut up.
Yeah. It's such an unnecessary flip of that.
He
Let me look at this. I just gonna
And there's also you like as Anakin, well, first as Windu, you fight Palpatine. You have an epic battle with Palpatine. And not just the little one. And then as Anakin, you have an epic fight with Mace Windu. And this is back when they didn't care. They didn't give a crap about spoilers. Nobody cared about spoilers back in the day. This
Right.
video game released before the movie came out. I played this video game before Revenge of the Sith came out in theaters. And I was telling all of my friends, guys, this is going to be crazy. Anakin and Mace Windu are going to have this awesome duel. It's going to be insane. And they get to it and they just
kill Obi-Wan and then kill the Emperor.
Well, no, I didn't say that because I knew that was like an alternate ending or whatever, you know, like I knew that wasn't what they were gonna do. But the Mace Windu thing, I thought for sure, why would they have you have a big boss fight with Mace Windu as Anakin if they weren't actually gonna do it and then just chop off the hand out the window? All my friends were so mad that I lied to them.
Or the Order 66 scene when you have like
game right here.
we
I'll
have an
show you
epic
where it
fight.
happened.
Boss fight with Sin Drawling and his apprentice. What was her name?
Yeah, the Sindralig fight is awesome.
Yeah. It's really hard too. All those fights in that game are really hard.
That's a great video game. Like I don't think if you haven't played it, you don't understand how good that game is.
Yeah.
And going through the Jedi Temple, just slaughtering Jedi. You get to kill what's the librarian's name? Jocasta Nu. You get to kill Jocasta Nu in that.
Oh, if you play that game, like if there's like a free play like duel game that like in that, I think it's like it's either like Ackman or Zanny. They have a video on it where like they just played that duel. The like the trash talking lines in that they have the characters say are like are top tier. It's so good. It's the right amount of camp.
Yeah, Matt, you got to play it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I couldn't play anything these days.
Well, that's a game that was made 18 years ago, so I think you'll be all right.
I feel so old.
2005 it came out.
Oh man, no, I think I'd suck at it. Suck at everything now. You don't play it enough. I did play the Batman Arkham games one more time and beat them both. Beat it all the way through. The only two things I didn't do in Arkham City was
the Riddler trophies.
Well, no. Yeah, the Riddler trophies are way too hard. I didn't bother getting the Riddler, and then I couldn't find the third spot where Azrael was to get to finally get the. I got the first few, and I couldn't find him. I know that's an easy one, and I guess I could have gone online and looked, but I was like, wow, I can't believe it because I know when you finally find him for the third and final time, you unlock his little trophy. But yeah, Riddler I knew was never going to happen. So it's too hard. And he's my favorite villain too, so I wanted to see him. But anyway. All right, so that's it. That's the topics that we had. I hope we answered them all. By the way, I don't think they'll ever print the Old Republic books, these novels. I think he was just saying we have so much content they could fill 40 novels.
Yes, that's what he's saying. And even like just the dialogue trees and everything. Like it's a lot. There's so much stuff written. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah, there's so much. Yeah. And the thing is, surely some Uber fan, like if I had the time back in the day, it would have been me. I'd have been the one.
I mean, the thing is, there's probably like 5 or 6 pages of dialogue, just like talking to some random dude on Korriban about slashing some stupid like little winged enemies out of the air to go back and get a reward of 50 credits. You know what I mean? Like there's so much random dialogue and stuff in that. I wouldn't be surprised at the level of content that they have if it was, 40,000 pages of dialogue or something,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it could have been, but I mean, and that's the thing. So like, will we ever see it? Maybe. I mean, if some dedicated fan wants to sit there and just write everything out, which I'm just shocked no one's done it before, because I know back in the day I would have done it.
I know Noah's
free time.
Noah's trying to at least parse through the continuity of like the timeline of the Old Republic, which is sort of a mess because of that game. So maybe we'll get an update on that in like 2 or 3 years when he's done with it.
Maybe so. But until then, Dylan, what is going on channel DAC 303? What can we look forward to on this?
I don't know.
On the brand new cutting edge YouTube channel.
I don't know.
I need to look this up. DAC 303. DAC 303. Like DAC.
Hold on. I'll just send you a link.
Yeah, I'm going to be able to search for it.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. I might finish out my EU by the Numbers series for the authors. Like I said, I would. Just with the 8 remaining authors that of the adult authors that have more than 5 books, just rank their stuff with the numbers that I have from the various book review websites. Other than that, I don't know what I'm going to do with the channel. I did the first video because Chris and I were talking about the idea of what is actually essential, right? Because it's such an interesting concept of like the Essential Legends collection, because like on the one hand, all of it is essential, right? But there are definitely, not to paraphrase Animal Farm, but there are definitely some stories that are more essential than others. And like, where do you draw that line between like where's that cutoff, which is kind of more of the point of what that video was, of trying to like figure out, okay, what is like everything that's absolutely essential, and then how could you structure all this in like a wave structure to get it all out in like a timely manner, was sort of that video. And yeah, people liked it, so I just dusted off EU by the Numbers and did a video about Aaron Alston. I don't know what else I'm going to do with that channel. Twin Sons, next month on May the 4th, we will be participating in Children's Hospital of Orange County's Star Wars Day events. We have purchased 50 books, which I will be delivering to the hospital along with the 501st. And they've got a bunch of things planned. So probably next month, we'll probably have some pictures and updates on how all that went. That's pretty much it for me.
Awesome. And that should remind me, folks, keep supporting Twin Sons Foundation. They're doing great work. We just did a fundraiser for them where they got the money they needed. So thank you for everyone again who donated to it. But always keep in mind, if you want to see that money put to work, check out Twin Sons. Go check them out. Great stuff they got there. On Ryan's channel.
On my channel, you can find me commenting on more generic stuff in pop culture, DC, Marvel, a little bit of Disney Star Wars. They do.
By the way, if you were at MegaCon a few weeks ago, folks, you had the chance to meet him in person, get autographs and pictures. How many did you give out?
A lot of pictures. I don't. Well, I guess a couple people did ask for autographs too, but no, it's not the intention of that.
Did someone come up to you with a box set of the first 5 seasons of Clone Wars and like, I need you to sign this?
No. Ironically, I have the first 4 seasons on Blu-ray.
No.
Nobody asked me that yet. But I have the first 4 seasons all the way up to bringing Maul back, and then I was just done. Like I just couldn't. I tried so hard to like that show.
That is exactly how I felt about the series, because it was doing okay. I think the first 2 seasons like okay, all right, and then was it season 4 or season 3?
The reason I remember season 4 Blu-ray set because it has Maul on it.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. I think that was when they brought him back and he had his arc with Savage.
I remember that, like, I remember when the episodes were coming out, that like that hype of like, oh, it's going to be the Maul thing, because it was like, I think it was like 3 or 4 episodes leading up to like when he actually comes out. And I remember watching it just like, so this is a bait, right? They're not actually going to do Maul, right? It's just going to be his brother and like
waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it never did.
Yeah, it's going to be his brother. They're going to go on this quest, and they're going to be like, "Oh no, he's not. He's dead. He's not actually coming back." And that's and
the episode.
If only we lived
the final episode of season 4 is Revenge, which is so Brothers is episode 21. So Dooku and Ventress feel the return of Operetz is imminent. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So that was when they brought him back.
There you go. But I was the same way. I was like, oh. But then I think season 3, I think the episodes started getting like, man, I really hated anything with Ahsoka. But the stuff he was doing with the clones, I thought was good too. I mean, I'm looking for it. Like I said, my next idea for the series would be going through all the episodes, the TV episodes, stuff like that. I'll do that. But because I used to like a lot of those episodes, the early ones. But just as the show kept going, it's like it got dumber. I don't know.
Well, I think parts of it got better
to begin with.
Well, I think parts of it got better. Parts of it got worse. To me, the biggest problem is I think in isolation, if you just dropped Clone Wars in front of me, I probably wouldn't like the first 2 seasons because it's a little really dumb and kiddish. I think it grows up a little bit, and I'd probably like it. But the problem is, Anakin Skywalker in Clone Wars is not the same character of Anakin Skywalker, the real person, the person that's in the movies, the person who is this, the chosen one who is kind of socially awkward and weird and angry and a little bit. I don't want to say like an outcast. He's not an outcast, but he doesn't fit in, right? And like. What they did with Anakin in the Clone Wars is they made him this super cool dude. And not obviously everybody was always looking up to Anakin for a reason for his skill level, but it never seemed like he was comfortable with that. In Clone Wars, he's very comfortable being the center of attention. He's got all these like little wisecracks with everybody. He's just super cool dude. It's not Anakin. And it's impossible to justify Anakin Skywalker going through all 2 years of like 7 seasons of the Clone Wars, and then to have Revenge of the Sith happen.
Yeah,
it doesn't match up. It never has. It's a terrible lead into Revenge of the Sith. I agree, but maybe that's a discussion for another time, folks. Thanks for tuning in. You can catch me live one more time this Saturday for Saturday Morning Sam Flange, episode 300. So come join me there, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Got a board game top 5 thing going on tomorrow. And thank you, guests, for coming in again. Thank you, Geeks Addict, for telling me you were going to come and then backing away at the last minute when you found out that Ryan was going to come. I appreciate that. Maybe will we see him next month? Probably not.